Summer vacation. You hang out with your friends, you hang out with your parents, you go on you go on vacations like to the beach, for example, with your mom and dad or maybe your friends. But for some people, they're stuck in summer school, especially in high school. Well, that's what I'm going to talk about with you guys today in the 1987 movie Summer School. Now, the plot of the 1987 movie Summer School is also, as the title says, like Kiki's Delivery Service, a PE teacher named Mr. Shoop has to reluctantly teach remedial English to a group of students for the summer. And he doesn't really want to, and the students, they're just really slackers. I know that's a mean term to say, but they don't really want to do it either. They just want to goof off. Anyways, that's the plot of the movie, and now I'm gonna tell you some scenes that I like from the movie. Now, scene number one that I like from the movie is that I was watching the first 30 to 40 seconds of the movie, and what I noticed is that they have a high school. It's called Oceanfront High School. And then I thought, that's the high school from Karate Kid. And then it had one more it had one more probably 10-second video shot of the high school. And I remember that high school in Karate Kid, and it actually is the high school from Karate Kid, because if you look side by side with Karate Kid and Summer School, it's the actual high school. And that high school is an actual high school in real life. Like, people go to it. I went there in I went to the South Seas Daniel Lewis's apartment video. That was probably a couple years ago now. Wow. Yeah, but I was surprised to see that high school was in another movie. It's called Oceanfront High in this one, and another school name in the Karate Kid. But that was just amazing. And then also, number two is that school gets out for the regular people for the summer. And then the summer school literally starts minutes after the regular school gets out for the summer. What the heck? Normally you would have the Friday or Thursday or whatever day you get out of school, but normally you would have the weekend, and then you would have to go back to school on that Monday for summer school, or you would wait a week, enjoy summer vacation, then get back to school on that next Monday. But minutes after, that's just crazy. I would not want to do that. And then scene number three is that one of the students, this is in the beginning of the movie, the 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes of the movie, one of the students recommends that they go on field trips. And Mr. Shoop says, alright, have your mom and dad sign these forms, because a student has these forms, and he pulls them out of his bag, and he's like, alright, have your mom and dad sign these forms. And then all the students sign all the forms, and then Mr. Shoop sees all that, and he's like, and then they give the forms back to them, and he's like, okay, good. And at that point, I'm just like, I think I know some people who would do this. Especially some people, I'm not going to name names, but some people I went to school with. I'm not going to name names. But anyway, the students go on these field trips. They go karting. They go to an amusement park. They go to a farm. They go to the beach, which those are fun field trips. I remember when I went to summer school for elementary school for 6th grade, and I'm just gonna say summer school between elementary school and high school. Elementary school has a different feeling than high school summer school, because in high school summer school you actually have to do stuff. In elementary school summer school, yeah, you do stuff, you do work, but it's actually like really fun work. Like, I remember when we had these elementary school field trips and summer school, we were learning about different cultures, and my teacher would go on, like, we had to get permission slips too, because obviously we weren't 18, we were in 6th grade, but we would go on field trips to like Subway or like the store, for example, to like make to make food from that culture that we were learning that week. So at least that was an educational field trip, and it was really a fun field trip. We would always walk there, so that would be really fun for me and probably the other students. And that's what I have to say about that. And then also, now in probably like, I'm saying the beginning of the movie because of like the 35-minute mark. It's like a 1 hour and 30 something minute movie. So that's why I'm calling it the beginning. But like at the kind of beginning of the movie again, probably like 35-minute mark or 40-minute mark maybe. The character Alan, in the movie suggests to Mr. Shoop that he grants each student a wish, and Alan comes up with like and then the students come up with like their own wishes, like Francis, who has a nickname, and Francis and Dave want like they want like a party on 4th of July weekend at Mr. Shoop's house. Alan just wants to be invited to the party. Denise needs some lessons to learn how to drive. That was a tongue twister right there, for some reason. And then Alan says, "Okay, everybody," like, and then he asks Mr. Shoop, "Do we have a deal?" And he says, "Yeah, okay, you got a deal." And then when I watched that scene, I was actually thinking of a time where I had this bus driver, and I had an aide on the bus, and the bus aide, I think she was like in her 60s probably. She was a little bit up there, but she had this great idea of teaching us skills, like while we were on the bus. This was still in elementary school. While we were on the bus, and she thought of teaching us the skills, like we would come up with skills. Like for me, it was tying shoes. And like I would tie shoes, and then like she would give us candy after. Like I remember, like the only thing I wanted after me learning how to tie shoes was a king-size Kit Kat. I didn't really go that much though, because the bus I would always be the last one off the bus, so then I would always get picked up, and that's why I didn't really do my shoe tying goal, But I'm still here. I don't know how to tie shoes. Look at me now, I'm a YouTuber. Anyways, so that's what that's what got me thinking of that. And then also now in the beginning of the movie, I know I'm going a lot in the beginning of the movie, like 30 minutes into the movie, but Mr. Shoop is, oh yeah, and then after the students are really wanting to learn after Mr. Shoop grants each other like one of the wishes that Alan made a contract for. Whew. Anyways, now in also in the movie, Mr. Shoop is talking about how if you can write something effectively, then you can convince something to do something for you, and then it will most likely happen. And then Francis says that his shades keep falling apart, his sunglasses keep falling apart. And then Mr. Shoop is like, okay, great. Now you're like, now you're gonna write a letter saying like that your shades keep falling apart, and if you write it effectively, then they might even give you some free stuff. And then that's the 35-minute mark, and then in the 55-minute mark, Francis, Mr. Shoop gets a letter, and he reads it, and it's addressed to Francis, and Francis actually gets like a ton of cool sunglasses from the sunglasses company, and that actually worked, and that really made me surprised. I didn't think it actually worked, but I guess Francis actually wrote a well-written letter, and he got free sunglasses because of it, because his sunglasses always kept falling apart. Yeah. And then also, this is the last thing that I'm going to say. Now, at the start of the movie, when Mr. Shoop is taking role, there's this guy on the screen. I'm gonna put a picture up with his name to the side of me, but he is enrolled in the summer school class, and then he says that he has to use the bathroom, and then Mr. Shoop lets him use the bathroom, take the bathroom pass, and then literally at the end of the movie, like there's 15 minutes left, and literally at the end of the movie, the kid comes back, and Mr. Shoop is like, sorry, kids they're taking a test, and he's like, sorry, can't let you in, we're testing right now. And then Shoop goes, oh, I remember you. And then Shoop is like, where you been? And then Mr. Shoop's student is like, bathroom. The zipper got stuck. And then he hands him the bathroom pass, and Mr. Shoop is just like, all right. And I'm just thinking, your zipper got stuck in the bathroom for 6 weeks. Like, you're obviously lying, but really? Like, if your zipper got stuck in the bathroom for 6 weeks, he probably said that, and then he probably like went out like off with his buddies to do like fun and dumb stuff, maybe. Kids. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. I know this video was a little bit longer, but I did have a lot more to cover, so that's why it is longer. Anyway guys, as always, I own no rights to any of the images in this video or the background music displayed in this video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on the post notification bell so you'll never miss an upload. Thanks for watching. Anyway, see you later guys. Bye bye. Comment down below also what your favorite scene from the movie Summer School is. See you later guys. Bye.